Hello guys, and welcome back to another CH weather video. Today we will be talking about the upcoming severe weather outbreak possible in the deep south, and also some other bits of severe weather near Oklahoma and towards the east coast. So let's dive right in. Starting today on the 2nd of March, as I'm recording this, there's a line of storms that's going through the Oklahoma and Texas border. In fact, if I go to the actual radar, you can see it's kind of dissipated into more rain now, but as this model was running, see, it showed line of storms through here, and there was a little slight risk here. So a couple, the parameters were there for some weaker supercells. Some photogenic tornadoes were possible. I know there were definitely some storm chasers on here, but otherwise nothing too crazy. As I went through, you can see it really became linear. Fort Worth, Dallas, so mainly wind was definitely a threat with that, but that's already passed, so that's out of our hair. Now, talking about the actual enhanced threat, which is in the deep south, you can see everything really flares up after that system little dies out, and then this comes in and merges with it, and boom, that initiates. So then you get a line of storms that go through Oklahoma, and as it comes through, this is where it starts to enter the more favorable environment. You can see the storms out in front, so these are most likely supercells. North Cleveland, Henderson, these over here, these, all of these have the potential to be a supercell, especially with this environment. As we continue to go, you can see there's plenty of storms out front. Even this one actually on the model looks like a supercell, which shows that even the model agrees that these storms could be producing strong to violent tornadoes as we get there. Again, it's pretty far out though, so we still are not sure if this is true, but you can see a lot of storms out front, a lot of broken up storms, embedded supercells out front, so it makes sense that there's an enhanced risk right now, and I honestly expect that to maybe be upgraded to a moderate as we get closer to the day. As it continues to the east through Mississippi, it kind of congeals into a linear system, so it mainly wind, but still the possibility of embedded tornadoes. And any of these storms out in front that are not with this line could be supercells and producing strong tornadoes. As this goes through Tennessee, just keeps going to the east. Again, you have the storms out in front, possible supercells. But at this point, these storms are out of the more favorable environment. Again, the favorable environment is over here in Mississippi, Arkansas, and a little bit of Louisiana. So once they're out of that favorable environment, they will definitely be weaker, and they won't be as strong as supercells, but there will be isolated thunderstorms as it goes to the east. Now, this is as far as the model goes. But anywhere from here, right now, there's a 15% risk, day 4 risk, of having severe weather. Looking at the dew point, this is the dew point that was causing some of the storms near the border, but we're going to ignore most of this since this has already occurred. But this is the low pressure system that's going to eventually cause storms here. And as this moves east, you can just see the influx of a ton of moist, wet air. Then on the east side, you have completely dry air right next to very, very wet air. So that difference right there is going to cause a big problem where the atmosphere is conducive for storms. So as we continue to go through the actual storm, right here is when it starts to enter that favorable environment where the storms start to pop off. And you can see that line is very sharp and plenty of wet dew points. And the dew points are great for any storm down the south. You can see very dark blue. As we continue to go, you can see Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, where that area where the threat's biggest is also where that blue is. As that continues to go east, one of the reasons that it even becomes storms over here is because you can see this right here kind of travels up like this. So if I click play, you can see it travel up like that, and that'll continue to go up. As these merge, it'll cause more storms in the east. Getting into my favorite models, this is the NAM 3 kilometer, and this is the model for most unstable cape. And a CAPE is just convective available potential energy, and that just shows the amount of energy that storms can take advantage of in the atmosphere. So as this goes, you can see the instability through Texas and Oklahoma, and once it enters that favorable environment, again, still got plenty of instability. Keeps going east, kind of dies down a little bit, right there, but that's as far as it goes. Looking at the supercell composite, which just estimates the chance of supercells, as we go, you can see actually flares up a lot through Oklahoma City, which is kind of interesting because that's not really an area of risk as of right now. Now that it does have a slight risk, but it doesn't seem to be as much as a main event as the 4th. Now this is the risk for March 3rd. It actually shows a little more east of Oklahoma City, so this is interesting. As we continue to go, you can see plenty of supercell composite. Kind of shrinks down and makes a little bit of a triangle over Louisiana, where these supercells could possibly be, especially Baton Rouge. Continues to go. Model stops right here. Probably one of the most important models right now. This is the tornado parameter, which just estimates the chances of tornadoes. Now again, what's going on in Oklahoma over there is interesting what the models are seeing, so I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. As it moves to the east into the favorable environment, you can see this triangle, which lines up with the CAPE and the supercell composite, and you can really see the actual tornado, significant tornado parameter, right? Red, 3 out of, what kind of scale is this? 3 out of 20, but I wouldn't pay attention to that scale because the scales are pretty weird on this. Anywhere in red is a pretty high amount, so this is overlapping with the actual severe weather area. You can see it really gets pretty intense near the Mississippi-Louisiana border, kind of near Vicksburg, St. Joseph, Natchez, New Roads, and Baton Rouge. Looking at the enhanced risk from Little Rock down to around Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you can see from the composite reflectivity some storms start to come in from the east, and this is where it really ramps up. And you can see out in the front there are plenty of supercells. Any of these little dots has the potential to become a supercell because they're in a very favorable environment. Any of those could also produce tornadoes if they happen to. You can see there's a line in front, which could be the supercells, and then a line in the back, which could have embedded supercells as well, but mainly wind. So that goes through the area. Pretty strong, pretty concerning, but we will just have to wait and see. This is the NWS Day 3 Storm Prediction Center Outlook. So if you look at this, especially focusing on the enhanced risk, you can see Little Rock, Hot Springs, Hope, Shreveport, Leesville, Alexandria, Baton Rouge, Hattiesburg, Meridian, Grenda, Clarksdale. If you're anywhere within those cities, say you're in between Shreveport and Grenda, definitely need to be on the lookout because you're in a enhanced risk, which is I believe 3 out of 5 risk for storms. So let's read the message. 1 or 2 organized lines of clusters or thunderstorms and perhaps a few supercells. The supercells are what can cause the big hail and tornadoes. Pose a risk for damaging wind gusts, few tornadoes and hail, primarily across parts of the lower Mississippi Valley into the southwest. Tuesday through Tuesday night. And night tornadoes could definitely be a problem. Well, thank you guys for watching, and as we continue to get closer to this weather outbreak, I will definitely try and make more and more videos to update you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.